Guys, the Premier League transfer rumour mill is well in full swing now. We've got a bunch of stories to go through today. I want to get your guys' opinions on them in the comments down below. As always, if you're going to enjoy, make sure to leave a like and do stick around and subscribe for some regular transfer content. Before we jump into today's video as well, if you want to see even more of me on YouTube, then make sure to go ahead and check out the Planet Football YouTube channel. I'm over there at the moment making a bunch of videos, loads of reactions to classic footballers in years gone by, so if that's something you're interested in, do check it out in the description down below. But without any further ado, let's hop into the transfer rumours. And we'll start out with a bit of a bombshell that was dropped at Nottingham Forest just a couple of days ago, because it appears as if Brice Samba will be leaving this summer. Now, of that Forest squad that went up to the Premier League, we all sort of tried to figure out who would be there next season in terms of the loanees they may potentially get back and the people that they'll be reliant on of that promoted squad in the Premier League next season. I think we all assumed that Samba would be there for this Premier League campaign, so this one has come as a little bit of a bombshell. The report coming out from the Daily Mail claimed that Samba was disappointed with the terms of a new deal and disappointed that he hadn't actually been offered any new terms earlier by Nottingham Forest, and reportedly so feels a little bit undervalued behind the scenes. This one coming as a massive surprise, like I said, it leaves Forest in a bit of a tricky situation now, where not only are they going to have to go about, potentially getting back or replacing those loanees that have left, but they're also going to now going to have to go in for another goalkeeper as well. Forest fans, I'd like to get your reaction to this one down below. We'll have a look at some keeper targets you could be going in for, but I have to say this one surprised me, and I would have loved to see Samba in the Premier League for Forest next season. Played a crucial role in that playoff campaign for them throughout his tenure at Forest. Probably has been one of the best goalkeepers in the Championship as well. Certainly earned his crack at the Premier League, but if reports are to be believed, it appears like he'll be off sooner rather than later, which is disappointing. So the most obvious choice being linked to Nottingham Forest at the moment in terms of a potential replacement for Brice Samba is Burnley's Nick Pope. There's no doubts that he will be leaving this summer. He'll be wanting to go ahead and claim his spot in Gareth Southgate's World Cup squad, and for that he really needs to be playing Premier League football. We have spoke about Pope on the channel previously with his links to the likes of Fulham and West Ham, and now with this Samba news, Nottingham Forest have gone ahead and thrown their hat in the ring for the Burnley shot stopper as well. Would make sense. It will be interesting to see which goalkeeper Forest do pursue as his replacement. We're now seeing Watford's Ismaila Sarr being linked with a move to Newcastle. This one not coming as a massive surprise that a Premier League club will be going in for Sarr. I think the vast majority of us would be quite surprised if Sarr does stick it out for another Championship campaign with Watford. He obviously really came into form towards the second end of their Championship season, scored 13 goals, got 4 assists. Last season in the Prem got 5 goals, 2 assists, and no surprise to see a club like Newcastle who are after strengthening those wide options after a player like Sarr. From Watford's point of view as well, it does seem as if they are trying to shift a few people on before they go in for anyone themselves. It's been a little bit quiet on the transfer front in terms of potential incomings for Watford recently. Seems as if they're taking their time when it comes to that one, but a player like Sarr at Newcastle, this one ticks a lot of boxes, I'd say. And we've got 4 Premier League clubs in the hunt for Liverpool's MINAMINO, who reportedly so will be allowed to leave Liverpool this summer for a fee of around about £17 million. The clubs currently being linked are Leeds United. It would be a reunion with Jesse Marsch, who worked with the player from his time at RB Salzburg. Southampton also in the mix, as well as Wolves and newly promoted Fulham. His game time at Liverpool had always been fairly limited. Did get to see him in the flesh actually for when Liverpool came to Deepdale earlier on in the season. Thought it looked like quite a live wire in that one. Had some glimpses from his loan spell at Southampton as well. I'd quite like to see him on a consistent basis for any of those 4 Premier League clubs. Fulham are reportedly willing to pay the €15 million asking price for Alex Moreno. The 29-year-old fullback, who has spent the last few years at Real Betis, scored 5 goals, got 3 assists in La Liga in this season just gone. No surprise to see Fulham targeting a left-back. We spoke last time about their interest in Matt Targett, but it now appears like they're pursuing a deal for the Spanish fullback instead. And it appears as if Leeds have got another deal over the line as well for Rasmus Christensen. He's coming over for a fee of around about £10 million reportedly. The Danish international is set to sign on a 5-year deal and will give Leeds a few more options in their right-back department. Newcastle have been linked with the move for Manchester City's Nathan Ake. This one would be a reunion with former manager Eddie Howe from their time at Bournemouth together. Now, Ake is quite an interesting one. It has taken him a little bit of time to get his feet under the table at Manchester City, but towards the end of last season especially, it really seemed like he was finding a little bit of form for City in the absence of some of their other centre-halves throughout a period when they were out injured. There were actually a string of decent performances. Obviously, he has that versatility where he can fill in as a left-back or a left-sided centre-half. This is the sort of player you'd expect Newcastle to be targeting, and would be a good deal. Whether or not Manchester City will be willing to sell on that will be another question. Barnsley's Callum Styles is being linked to each of the 3 newly promoted clubs from the Championship in Nottingham Forest, Fulham and Bournemouth at this point in time. I'd love to see Callum Styles being given that opportunity. Although Barnsley did have a tough season last time around, he's undoubtedly a player with real quality. He's fairly versatile, can play as either a wing-back or further up into midfield. I feel as if his best position is probably on that left-hand side as a wing-back. I think this is one of those signings where, you know, you sign him to give him that opportunity in the Prem, but should you be relegated to the Championship, he'll absolutely smash it in that league. So I think this will be a sensible buy for any of those 3, really. Brighton continue to be linked to Swansea's Michael Obafemi. Honestly, I would be a little bit surprised if they pursue this one in the summer ahead of some other targets that they may have. I did like Obafemi and the look of him towards the end of the season with Swansea, but it did take him a little bit of an adaptation period to settle in at Swansea. I think that another full season in the Championship in that setup with Russell Martin will do him some good, actually. 20 starts, 12 appearances from the bench, 12 goals, 3 assists in that time. Not sure he's quite ready for Premier League football yet, though. In terms of Brighton though, plenty of speculation currently going on around Bissouma, his future up in the air at this point in time. Several Premier League clubs have been linked. It seems as if Aston Villa have distanced themselves from this one now and they will instead be pursuing some other targets. But the latest club to be linked to the dynamic midfielder has actually been Jose Mourinho's Roma. From Brighton's point of view, they would probably favour actually a move for Bissouma outside the Premier League if the move was right, that, you know, he wasn't strengthening a direct rival or anything like that. But time will tell on this one. It does appear as if a bidding war could emerge for the midfielder. Derby County youngster Malcolm Ebiowei is being linked with a move to Selhurst Park at this point in time. Now, I think he'd be a perfect fit into the general recruitment pattern that Crystal Palace have gone for recently in terms of young up-and-coming stars from the EFL. Ebiowei is a really exciting talent at the moment. I got to see him in the flesh when I travelled to Derby with Preston this season, and he, for me, was Derby's stand-up player on the pitch. He's got an absolute wand of a left foot, cutting inside from that right-hand side, and I think that for him to learn off players at Palace, you know, like your Michael Elise's, your Zahas, your Eze's, I think he could learn a lot there and will be a decent fit into that side. Steffi Mavididi is being linked with the move back to England, with West Ham, Everton and Aston Villa all reportedly interested in the 24-year-old. Now, I can speak a little bit on Mavididi because he did have a loan spell back with my side, Preston, back in 2017. You could tell then that he was really quite a raw talent who wasn't quite ready for Championship football at that point, but you could see a little bit of the technical ability that he had. To be fair to him, since he got his move over to Montpellier, he has really gone from strength to strength. 9 goals last season, 8 in there, 1 just gone. He's played the majority of his football off the left-hand side, but can play through the middle as well. Got a bundle of pace about him, and it would be a return to England as he did come up through the Arsenal Academy as well. Will this be the summer that Ruben Neves moves on from Wolves? Well, he certainly won't be short of offers. We've already seen several Premier League clubs being linked with the Portuguese midfielder, as well as some of Europe's top clubs from abroad as well. Barcelona being one club spoken about, although they need to get their finances in check first of all. According to Telegraph Sport, Wolves will be looking for around about £70 million for the Portuguese midfielder. That could be a way to go ahead and get a bit of a bidding war started, though, between a few clubs who I'm sure would go in under that valuation. I believe he's got 2 years left on his contract at Wolves currently, so if they're looking to maximise on that profit, he's probably looking more than likely that a sale around about this time could happen. And Wolves themselves are looking to strengthen their midfield options this summer. They're looking into João Folina as things stand, preparing a bid of around about £17 million. Reportedly so, though, Sporting would be looking for a fee of around about 25, so it would be interesting to see if that first bid from Wolves does sway this one. Bit of an enforcer in midfield, stands at 6'3". He's the first midfielder Wolves have been linked to. And George Mendes could have his part to play in this one. They've also been linked to Barcelona midfielder NICO Gonzalez, who, for me, whenever I've seen him play, looks like quite a promising talent, actually. The only reason I could think that why Barcelona would be willing to let him go is because they are quite well stocked in the centre of the pitch at this point in time. We spoke to their links to Neves previously as well. We have seen Wolves and Barcelona do deals going each way between them in the past, and so maybe potential swap deal plus cash for Neves moving one way and Gonzalez the other. Certainly wouldn't rule anything like that out with what we've seen go on between these two clubs previously. But there we have it, guys. That will wrap it up for today's video and for today's episode of the Premier League transfer rumour roundup. If you've seen any other transfer rumours going around the Premier League, do let me know about them in the comments down below. And if you did go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like and do stick around and subscribe for some regular transfer content. Apart from that, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.